What, if anything, are you listening to right now? It's Much Ado About Nothing. I'm Adam.
And I'm J-Rock.
Guess what we're talking about today? Somebody's been pretty excited to talk about this, haven't they?
I have. This thing has been...
Yeah, and I know it's... Why am I so off center here? I know it's probably been covered a bunch by now. You guys have probably already seen plenty of it. You know, maybe more than you want to see. I mean, I know I have. Yeah, we're talking about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial today.
Circus, yeah.
Speaking of which, I don't know what's going on with the lighting today. Looks like somebody applied a bruise kit to it, right? Yeah. Looks all gloomy and doomy. Kit. What's that?
A theater bruise kit,
yeah. Or it's a bruise concealer. What'd you call it?
It's one of the MAAN color correctors.
Bruise color correction
which hasn't
kit.
even come out yet. Yeah. Imagine that.
Also hasn't... What, you just used the Amica cream instead?
Oh, yeah, the Amica cream.
The funny thing is that's what everybody calls it, even though that's not what it's called.
I know, it's really Arnica cream, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like the R and the N, I guess, smushed. You know, you got an... Let's do it right.
Gosh.
You got an R and then an N on the paper, and then it's like it's smushed together like, oh, okay, it looks like an M.
It's just so bad.
Well, you know what? Let's just launch into it. Okay, so I was gonna say hopefully you've been paying attention. Hopefully you have something better to do with your life than pay attention to two drunken, drug abusing millionaires talk crap on each other. But in case you haven't, in case you don't have anything better to do, or in case you do have something better to do, yeah. So he won the whole thing. I mean, she got the one. What was it? She got $2 million from it.
Yeah.
But it's like he gets $10 million plus some change, so it just kind of just subtracts what he's owed at that point.
Yeah, one of her 3 counterclaims was given to her.
Yeah. And I watched one guy. It's like it's probably a what do you call it? Like compromise in the jury.
Yeah.
But in any case, yeah, basically he won. General thoughts. What do you like of the whole?
Oh man.
Circus.
Oh man. One, I'm really, really glad that there were cameras in that courtroom. Mm-hmm. I think it was good. Well, it's fun to watch, and I do think things should be transparent. Like, it's always a little more suspicious when they're behind closed doors and hush hush. Mm-hmm. So I really liked that the cameras were there. I think that was a good idea. It really rubbed me the wrong way, too, that her side, there were 2 things. One, that they were trying to come at it from the angle of freedom of speech.
That's not what freedom of speech is.
Yeah, no, it's not. Like, there's freedom of speech, and then there's hate speech, and I had another one, hate speech and something
Sorry,
else.
real quick. Can you scooch over just like a couple inches that way? There we go. See, don't we get along so much better than they did?
Yeah.
See, this is what
turns on phone to record. Don't push me. Don't poke me. Put me in a corner.
I'm gonna slam some cabinets after this. Yeah. You know what your problem is? You're too stuck in your own head. I don't know what haven't had my daily cocaine breakfast.
But
yeah, I know, that's a terrific Johnny Depp impression, isn't it? Spot on, man. I'm getting when they do a disaster artist version of this whole trial. I'm getting that part.
Yeah, jeez.
I'm just kidding. That's so bad.
But yeah, so
never mind. I got.
Okay. You done?
I was gonna say I've never heard him talk except for like in Pirates of the Caribbean.
And like, this whole trial.
Barely. I don't know if mumbling into the microphone. We would show up on set, and
he didn't mumble. He's just very slow.
Either way, I like people who talk clearly, and I know I'm one to talk because I stutter over my words all the time. But I like it when people can speak clearly and not wander. And I know I do that too. Wander in their sentences while they're trying to explain things. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so I didn't like that. I didn't like the political angle of that. It was like, no, this isn't freedom of speech. This is simply you lied or you didn't. And then I really, really, really did not like how her side... Would you stop it?
I didn't say anything.
He complains about wanting to keep these podcasts within a time frame, but then when I'm trying to do my stuff, mocks me and butts in with crap.
I mouthed a word 3 times, and that was it.
Whatever.
Okay, so you didn't like...
I really didn't like that her side painted it and made abuse synonymous with addiction. Because one, that's completely false. Like, not every addict is going to be abusive. That's just wrong. And 2, if we're going on that logic, she was drinking and smoking too. So...
Yeah, wouldn't that make her an
abuser as well? You've blown open your whole case.
You're doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, exactly. So that just really bothered me. Because I'm like, you can't... Like, I just felt like through the whole thing, there was a very obvious, like, contempt and hatred for addicts, even though she's one. Like, I don't know. It just rubbed... I did not like it. Yeah, made me very mad.
Hashtag condemn all addicts, right?
Yeah. That's what she was trying to do, yeah.
No, I'm saying that's the solution, right? Not just him as an addict, all addicts.
Yeah. Guess what, Amber? You fit under that umbrella.
Yeah. No, I'll be honest. I don't care about these people. Honestly, I'd never heard of her until I first heard the I don't remember when that was. Whatever it was, a few years ago, and I heard it on the radio too. Some recording. I can't remember if it was the one of her saying that I didn't punch you, I hit you.
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
I think that was the one I heard. I'm like, I didn't know who this girl was.
That was vile.
So it's like I don't have a... What's the word? Not that I don't have a dog in this race. I don't even care that there's a race going on. If that makes sense. Like, these are... To me, it's like I said, 2 millionaire drunk addicts fighting with each other, like, whatever. It was entertaining, though.
Yeah, it was super entertaining. I like the psychology.
I liked it from like I like watching like the court stuff. Like, maybe I should have been a lawyer.
Gosh,
I don't want to be though, man. I don't want to. Especially if it's like, hey, can you help me? You know, I'm getting sued by a guy who I actually beat up and threw stuff at and cut his finger off and punched him in the face. I'm not going to take that on. I don't want to.
Her. Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't want to be a lawyer and take on those kind of cases.
No.
I would rather just be knowledgeable about law, or pretend I'm knowledgeable about law, and then just criticize everything that goes on from the safety of my own little, like in a theater. Like, I got my own little, like, what do you call that? Like a box. Mm-hmm. You know, like.
Yeah, we definitely had 2 different...
Watching this little court theater going on and criticizing everything. Well, I know that's not right.
Yeah.
I'd rather do that.
Johnny's nostalgic, but I don't know. It's the psychology for me.
Yeah. Other thoughts I had. I don't know how she got picked for... I don't know how she ended... Well, I'm not going to say it because I'd like to be... I don't want to be that family unfriendly. But so I'll just say what I was originally going to say. I don't know how she got picked for any kind of acting jobs.
Showing up to lots of people's trailers.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be. Okay, for instance, we went to a sushi restaurant. What was that? A couple weeks ago. It was a few weeks ago.
You're one of your parents' birthdays, so yeah.
Well, they had it on they had the TV on TNT, and they were showing Aquaman, of course, because perfect time to show that and get views. Okay, the sound is off, and that movie looked like it sucked, but I mean, just super cheesy. And I'm thinking, this is what you got paid to do? Look like you don't know what you're doing? Make a moderately confused face for the entire movie. I don't know. It didn't, like, I'm not looking at this, especially when they were saying like, oh, well, you know, because of blah, 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 she lost parts and she didn't get paid for blah, blah, blah. It's like, how'd she get paid for this? It sucked.
Well, and
this is terrible.
To have trouble getting along with Jason Momoa, who I have yet to hear anything from any of his co-stars about having any issues with him. Seems to be a pretty likable guy. I haven't seen anything that even after his divorce, him and his wife were fine, like pretty amicable. Like he just doesn't. I haven't seen anything to say that he's somebody that's hard to get along with. Yeah. So if you're having trouble getting along with him, that's bad. Yeah. Wow.
Well, and then I think, and I'll save this last part, and then we'll get going because I don't want this to turn into. We could make like a whole bunch of episodes on this stupid thing, but the other thing that bugged me is that she's my age or pretty close to my age. I think a little bit older, and I hate when I see somebody who's my age. So it's like, I know exactly the world you grew up in. I know when social media came into effect. I know when, you know, like when you were in high school, what was popular, what was acceptable, all that stuff. And then you turn out like that. I mean, I know I'm not like some paragon of success or, you know, lived a model life or whatever, but I'm not the one throwing, you know, alcohol bottles at people. And
maybe all of that breaking horses, you know, she fell off and knocked a few screws loose.
Oh, that explains you then.
Yes, I have fallen off a horse.
You're the one that always talks about your horse concussion.
I don't always talk
your
about it. Your
concussed horse. Yeah. I need to think of a word before the end of this. Like a word that, you know, concussion and mushed together with some kind of horse, like concussamino or something like that. But something good. Anyway, okay. So yeah, those are our general thoughts. Terrible people, stupid thing, but it's pretty entertaining. Probably the best show she's put on.
Well, I don't know. She couldn't even cry.
Well, I know, but that's what made it so entertaining.
That's true, especially after her acting coach comes on.
Yeah, when she gets on there, says she can't cry when she's acting. I mean,
wow.
It's like at some point, if this is really as terrifying as she made it sound, she got to cry at some point.
I know,
and she never did. But no, I think she did like once. But I'm like, man, that's all, you know, one time when you're like, when you've been living with the pain and the terrible life for years. I'm like,
well, and when you can like not shed a tear describing the horrific abuse that happened, like with a broken bottle. Like, when you can describe that all dry-eyed or, like, looking insanely uncomfortable. Because that made me uncomfortable to listen to.
I'll tell you what was really telling is when she could, like, turn it off. Like, when she turned it off as soon as, like, when she was cross-examined. Yeah. I'm like, you don't shut that off.
No. There would be no way. No way.
You know, and how, like, the thing that she remembered the most was his dirty floors.
That's straight out of a young adult novel. Like, come on.
Isn't it? I mean... I don't know. I was going to say Nicholas Sparks. I've never read any of his books.
Well, I get that people...
But yeah, something like that where it's like... Yeah.
It's... Yeah. Ugh. Okay, moving on.
The fault in our movie stars, I tell you. Okay.
Moving on. What were some of your favorite parts?
My favorite parts... I don't remember her lawyer's name. It was one of the guys when he objected to his own question. Yeah. Like, he asked a question... The person gave the answer, and then he objected to it.
Well, I just love that the witness and the judge were like,
you asked your question. Like, you asked the question. I mean, what do you say? Like, objection, this isn't what I expected. Yeah. Objection, this doesn't help my case. Yeah. Objection, this makes us look like the bad guys.
What are you doing?
I thought, I don't know, I'm like... It almost... That and a few others...
And not once, but twice. They did that twice during this whole thing.
And then it just in general, okay, like her acting coach, the crazy psychologist guy, the really, and and everyone's calling him Doc Brown from Back to the Future, which is an insult to Doc Brown. Yeah, that guy. Look like freaking. Look, remind me to show you. What was the Jets coach? Adam Gase. Remember to show you his press conference when he got hired as the Jets coach. Mm-hmm. I mean, you could tell he was on drugs, but I mean, he's just like looking around, his eyes like this big. I mean, I swear his pupils were dilated bigger than his iris were. But it was that kind of like crazy, like this dude's a nut. But the whole time I'm like, did they vet any of their witnesses, or did they just find anybody that had any connection to her? And then put them up there. I'm sure this will work out. And then you get questions and answers like that, where it's like, how are you sabotaging your own case at this point?
She burned so many bridges. She could barely get her best friend to testify.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Which one was that? Rocky and
yeah, that Rocky girl. Like.
And was it? Yeah.
I could go on forever.
I know all those people. Like, I mean, I wonder. That's the kind of thing where I'm like, I want to punch all of these people.
They were just so
just. And I know it's really high and mighty, and like, oh, I'm so much better than these people. I'm pretty sure I'm so much better than those people. I'm sure most of us are.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. This is, I don't like to be. I usually don't like to be judgmental like that, but those are some low quality. You can look over at me all you want. I'll judge what people do, but I always give somebody a chance. I always let somebody, like, you come in neutral, everybody starts at 0, and you can go up or down from there.
Okay.
But what? When do I not do that?
You're fine.
I don't. Trust me. It may sound like it sometimes, but it's because as soon as like, hi, my name's Adam. Hi, I'm a waste of space. Like, yeah, you're going to start from less than 0. I mean, from go, you're already, How do I go down as fast as possible? Like, just like this. What else did I like? The friend, Johnny Depp's friend, the bald guy. I can't remember his name.
With the white goatee?
I think so, yeah. He was just really...
that was laughing at one point.
Yeah, he was like really laid back
ridiculous.
the whole time. Like there was one time they asked if Johnny Depp was doing drugs, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I was doing them alongside him."
Yeah,
something like that.
Was he the one was he urinating in the foyer? And he was like, "I think I would have remembered seeing." Probably.
The way he gave his answers, it's like very casual, and casual to the point of, yes, this whole thing is absurd, and it's like, I don't know, it's kind of fun to have, like, when you're watching a show and there's like one character who knows that the whole thing's ridiculous.
Yeah.
He was that character.
He was the breaking of the fourth wall.
Not so much a fourth wall break, but not like a voice of reason, but like a person who's inserted to be like, to say what the audience is thinking.
Yeah.
I was like, this is ridiculous. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of, and I know I'm saying like a character in a show. This basically was a show with a bunch of characters.
Oh, yeah. This was like Tiger King 2.0.
I don't think you can make a movie or a TV show based on this thing and not have it be more... Like, there's no way it could be as
chaotic,
genuine as this one was.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
It was so entertaining.
Yeah.
What else did I like? The pledged versus donated.
Oh my gosh.
Thing. I'm like, and again, that goes back to, I can't stand that those are the people that I grew up with. My age, nobody was that stupid.
She's playing stupid. Camille did an excellent job.
I'm from the often disparaged Midwest. I'm not saying people here are dumb. Very much the opposite. But nobody's, that's not something that people do. Like, oh yeah, I use pledge and donated the same way.
Yeah,
no. I use hit and punched interchangeably.
It's just so ridiculous.
But that's what this, like.
Camille did a good job with that, though. Like, she...
Yeah, no.
She did real good.
And that's the kind of thing I like watching is, in general, like, his lawyers versus her lawyers. Like, that's what I like watching. Like, I like seeing people get called on their crap.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things that I would love to do, but excuse me, and I know you'll probably say, oh, you do that all the time. Not as much as I want to. I mean, if I come off really bad like that, I'm holding myself like back, actually.
Yeah.
I could be way worse. And I have been before. Mm-hmm. I have.
I know.
And nobody likes that. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I know. Last thing. What, if anything? Man. I'll tell you what I really want. And I looked for it and I couldn't find it. But I really want a shirt that just says, what, if anything? Like in those like rounded like groovy letters like from the 70s. And like a, like a, what do you call that? It's like a, it's not an outline or a sketch or like a black and white, like where they take a picture of somebody and then they just like darken the darks and lighten the lights and then it's just two colors.
Inverted?
No, it's not inverted. It's just like a monochrome, not monochrome. I don't know if that's right.
Okay,
word.
I know what you're talking
about. Like of what's her name? Elaine. Like just like doing her like her kind of head tilted, mouth half open, eyes half open. Look, like I want that. I want a picture of that, and then what if anything? Like,
well, then when the judge looks at you and goes, "What if anything is not?" What did she call it? A cure-all?
Probably.
I was like, "Come on!" Like even the judge is like, "Might want to try something different there." I know. She just plowed, but she also couldn't manage to turn her mic on half the time. So, what are you expecting?
What if anything am I supposed to ask at this point? Oh,
Lane, I can't hear you.
Well, no, the part where she's like, I'm trying.
How bad do you have? Oh, that was bad. That was one of those moments where it was like, am I really seeing and hearing? Like, I thought it couldn't get any worse.
Oh, I know.
And then she did that, and it was just... wow. Like, I want a shirt of that. I'm trying. I promise. I'm really trying. Oh my goodness. What are you looking at?
I was looking up.
Oh, the video of it?
No. Oh. I'm going to come back to this one at the end. I'll pull it up on the screen. Okay, so those are my favorite parts. If you can't tell, we had a lot of fun watching this.
we were messaging each other back and forth from our respective rooms.
I had it on in the background. It's so much like, although there's a lot of time I had to turn it off because I'm like, this is so entertaining. Like, it's not background noise at this point.
It's so bad.
Yeah. Okay. So those are my favorite parts, and I know we're kind of running low on time, and I kind of took up some space, but okay.
So some of my favorite parts, I'm just gonna ignore you, was Smeagol.
Yeah.
With his.
Yeah, that guy.
And I think the best part of that is one, when he said, "Do I have to answer that question?" And the judge was like, "Yes, you have to answer questions." Like, you could hear it was like, really? And then watching Ben and Johnny trying their best, like, just... like, face, I think everybody at that point was kind of making where it was like, is he for real?
Well, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, did they vet any of these people? Like, had they met this guy before they called him to the stand? Because it's like, if I'm trying to defend somebody who's obviously lying, I'm not calling that psycho up there. But they did. I'm like, what? Did you meet this guy before? Did he not? Was he not doing the funky mouth mannerisms before that? Like,
well,
he didn't comb his hair. Like,
there was somebody on TikTok I saw. They had an interesting theory about that. They were saying that obviously Amber does not like men. That's pretty obvious. So she wanted Rottenborn to head it. But Rottenborn was the one who was letting Elaine do a lot of the stuff, not Amber. And Amber didn't really like that. So their bet is a lot of this got by because there was so much bickering and vying for power between her and her attorneys.
Yeah.
Which would make sense, but no. So there was that guy, and then TMZ guy. Morgan, Spicy Draco.
Spicy Draco.
Oh, it fits.
I know.
It fits. Like, that was the best comeback I've ever seen. And then when he commented on her interview, when she went on the Today Show?
I can't remember what
she went on some show, and his commentary on it.
It was, what's his name? The fat guy that no one likes. James Corden.
That she went on?
Amber Heard?
No, Elaine.
Oh, I don't know. I quit. As soon as they did got the jury's thing on that, I quit watching all this.
Oh, okay,
followed. I saw that. And I pulled up Amber Heard's response. I haven't read it yet, for instance, but I haven't seen that. All I saw was I saw that Elaine went on some CBS something or other
and whining, I can't believe blah blah blah, and he posted it and was like, oh, what was it, something like, he was calling her out and like, oh, I was the one who wanted 15 seconds of fame, and now you're out here doing this. I don't know. It was great. That was just perfect. And then everybody's responses in the courtroom.
Yeah. My favorite was the lady in the back where she's like,
DUI guys was hands down my favorite.
He kind of overreacted there. But it was funny because the lady next to him was, and the lady behind him that was standing up. It was like,
all of us were though.
Well, I know, but I'm like that's what I mean. Like, that's
even Elaine was like,
if it wasn't, I think if it wasn't her right there, I think she would have thought it was funny.
Oh yeah.
I mean, regardless of the side you're on, it was a funny comeback.
Oh, it was hilarious, and how smoothly he did it too. Just very calm. Very smooth, because you can see when she asked the question, it registered on his face like, oh, here we go, like great, So it was just, it was perfection. I thought it was great. It made me laugh so hard. So there's that. Dr. Curry, I loved her. Oh my goodness, she was so put together. I love that she broke down exactly what she did. Which test she administered, she explained it all. And again, I was interested in the psychology of it all, so I just found it fascinating. And then especially, I already was impressed with her. And then when they brought in Dr. Hughes, I was like, oh yeah, she's definitely superior. Was that her
psychologist or whatever?
Yes.
Psychiatrist?
Yeah. It was the one who said that they cooperated on the one test.
And filled out the PTSD.
Yeah, and then when they're like, well, when have you represented a man who's been abused? And she says, oh yeah, I did a gay couple once. Like, what?
Well, I mean,
she was just so obviously
get abused, apparently. Don't hate on gays for that.
I think she was doing them a disservice. Like, come on. Like, it was very, very obvious she didn't really care to help men. Like, she made it pretty clear. Yeah. So I was just so impressed with Dr. Curry.
She was so wonderful.
She was. She was fantastic. And so put together, and I liked how she handled Elaine. And, didn't get ruffled, but she was firm.
Well, here's the thing. And like I was saying while we were watching it, it's so much easier to keep your story together when it's the truth. When you're lying, there's so much of it that you have to fabricate. And if you're caught off guard, or it's like, I didn't consider this part that I like this detail, it gets difficult to keep that going and make it believable.
Or from TMZ, which was alerted.
Oh, that was it TMZ she was talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Because she was talking about how she was supposedly trying to get a hold of him so that he didn't find out.
Find out from them before.
Yeah, TMZ, which was alerted.
Yeah, that was funny. Look, there's like.
Well, in the quick, I'm just fixing my hair.
There's no. Well, she just stopped at that point. Mm-hmm. Like, it wasn't when TMZ. When she just stopped. Mm-hmm. And that's what I mean. It's hard to keep up a lie when.
Yeah.
I didn't consider that I have to give details on this thing that never happened. Mm-hmm. Well,
yeah.
If you're just telling the truth, the details that happened, they're already out there. It's a lot easier to to talk about.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there was that. And then lastly, I loved when Camille caught her with the picture that was used twice. Tried to claim it was two separate incidents. But
was it the one of the picture of the floor or something? Yeah.
With the wine bottle.
I didn't even catch that the first time around. I'll be honest, when they talk about look at this incident, I'm like, I kind of tuned out at that point because I was like, will you guys get on with the case? We understand you're trying to paint this guy as a, he throws alcohol, he uses drugs, he's an abuser, and that makes him a person abuser or like a spousal abuser or whatever. I completely missed that those were like different incidents that she said those were from.
And to bring it up when they did, it was just perfect. Oh, yeah. They handled it great. Like the way she grilled her about it and wouldn't let her talk around the question and then bringing it up, right at the end. Like it was great.
And this goes for public speaking in general. The only things your audience is going to remember is the very start and the very end of what you have to say. They're not, unless there's some major nugget of information in the middle, which you're doing yourself a disservice putting in the middle and not putting at the start of the end, they're not going to remember it. So yeah, you bring up something like that right at the end. So it's like, hey jury, this is fresh in your mind because it just got mentioned. Yeah, you save those for the end.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good use of that. So.
Yeah, it's horrible. Did you want to read her response real quick? Because
we're pretty low on time.
Oh, okay. Because it was bad.
Yeah, let's go ahead and read it.
Okay.
Because this is dang it, piece of man. I'm elaning this whole thing up. Man, this really got Amber Hearded.
Turded.
Oh yeah, of course. Hold on. No. Oh, I didn't stop it. I almost pushed the wrong button there. That was another one of my favorite things. How many times did they say Amber Turd in the courtroom? Okay, for me, it's one of those things, some people just don't grow up. I'm one of those people. I just don't grow up. I mean, that's as funny to me now as it would have been, when I almost keep pushing the stop button here. When I was, like a teenager or something. If I was in school and we saw the word turd in like a book or something, yeah, we're gonna laugh.
I was gonna say it's a setting.
Here I am at 36. It's still hilarious. Yeah, it's hilarious because it's like this is court of law, everything's serious. Judges and lawyers and jury and bailiff and And
then Amber Turd.
Hashtag Amber Turd.
Hashtag we just don't like you, Amber.
How many times did the this blah, blah, blah with Amber Turd? And I swear, I can't remember who it was. There was one time I thought somebody called her Amber Turd. Or maybe not like while she was on the stand, but I could have sworn somebody said Amber Turd in reference to Amber Heard.
I want to say it was Rottenborn. Because I remember what you're talking about, and I'm pretty sure it was Rottenborn, which just makes it even funnier.
Sorry. What an unfortunate name.
I know.
I mean, there's some bad last names you can have. I remember someone telling me that they knew a guy whose last name was Weak, like Weak. Oh, no. Like there's some unfortunate last names. Anything that has to do with being bad or losing or some like a non-positive quality, you don't want in a thing like in a career in a field where you can win or lose. That is not the kind of name you want to have.
Well, and it's so like intense, like Rottenborn. Like it sounds like something out of a novel. Like it really does.
That's like what they would call that's like some kind of fantasy novel where it's like, oh, we stay away from that area. It's full of Rottenborn.
I'm not gonna lie. I've debated using it in my book.
It's a good. Like I've been playing Elden Ring. It seems like something they would call something in Elden Ring. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a thing in there. They always talk about rot and all this other stuff. Rottenborn. I mean, like that seems like it fit. Anyway,
okay, let's read this real quick.
Okay, let's read this. Close it. Then do our closing statements, and then we will adjourn. Okay, let's see. What did she say in response? This is from a couple days ago. The disappointment I feel today is beyond words. I'm heartbroken that the mountain of evidence still was not enough to stand up to the disproportionate power, influence, and sway of my ex-husband.
sorry, pause. The mountain of evidence. No, it was a molehill. And it wasn't even real dirt.
I'm sure I'm sure what was on the floor was real dirt.
Okay. Anyway.
I'm even more disappointed with what this verdict means for other women. Oh, that they can, if something happens to them, they should just tell the truth and everything will turn out fine. It is a setback. It sets back the clock to a time. Let's reread this. Let me try to be a little more dramatic. It sets back the clock to a time when a woman who spoke up and spoke out could be publicly shamed and humiliated. It sets back the idea that violence against women is to be taken seriously. It should be taken seriously when it happens.
Yeah.
I believe Johnny's attorneys succeeded in getting the jury to overlook the key issue of freedom of speech. Considering they both had bad things to say about each other and affected both their careers.
Yeah, that's...
which is what she won on.
Yeah, and
I'm like...
calling somebody a wife beater is not freedom of speech. Like,
get out of here. You can do that. That's a thing. It's just
falsely, I should say.
Well, I'm just saying.
Falsely.
You know, it I don't know. Okay, freedom of speech, and ignore evidence that was so conclusive that we won in the UK. Yeah, I got some thoughts on that one. I won't share them here. Because I don't know all the details on it, but basically, like, everyone was in cahoots with each other, and that, like, everybody's friends or family, and that whole thing, like, it's a mess. I'm sad I lost this case. I would be too, because you're in the whole $8 million. But I am sadder still that I seem to have lost a right I thought I had as an American to speak freely and openly.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it so much. Like, that last part just makes me so angry. Because I'm like, stop it. That's not what this was. You're stupid.
To speak freely and openly. She did. And she cost a guy the crappy Harry Potter movies and the becoming crappy Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Is you can speak openly and freely, but there's consequences. Like, bothers me. I hate that rhetoric.
Oh, bother. That's a UK thing, isn't it? Oh, bother.
Oh, bother. But yeah, no.
That was quite the statement there, wasn't it? Okay, and here's my thing. Closing statement, and then we'll wrap this up. You don't get your 6 minutes to respond. Dang it! What was I gonna say? I guess it doesn't matter. Idea? I guess maybe I don't need my 6 minutes to say anything. Dang it! What was I gonna say about this whole thing? Oh yeah. Here's the thing. This is all she has now. This is there's no acting anymore from here. I'm sure somebody will cast her in something. You know, it's like who's the one that was on? I think she was on Grey's Anatomy.
I have no idea. I didn't watch that show.
Like the last thing she did. Oh, she's apparently hard to work with, and she was doing like it wasn't Gas X, but it was something like that. Like you're doing like a fart commercial, like fart medicine commercial.
Oh, I thought you meant like she was abusing it.
No.
Oh, you're like, what?
High on Gas X.
Okay, you do you. Oh, no, this whole thing is just...
I'll have to look up that. But it's like, this is all she's got at this point.
Yeah.
This is the next step in her career. Mm-hmm.
I'm just happy for him. Like, I really am. I think it's great.
I don't care. I mean...
Well, I care because I do think there's a lot of stigma on men being abused, and if it helps other guys speak out, I think it's a good thing. Because I've been seeing a lot of people saying that we shouldn't be mocking her on social media. And I'm like, no, we can mock her. She's trash.
Yeah, sorry, I'm reading some of these replies on... I can only see 2 replies on Twitter, but I'm sorry. We're all proud of your strength and courage. We are by your side. Be well. So it'll be fine.
Be well in hell.
Takes a lot to get there. I don't think that's enough.
Well, you heard the audio recordings. I think she's at least halfway.
But yeah, no, I'm just like, this is where she's going. She's got to lean into it at this point because she got kicked off of Aquaman 2, apparently. I mean, what? I don't care. The first one looked like it's, like I said, I watched it with no sound. It looked like it sucked.
I know, like I said, I just think she's a disgusting, vile human being. So, any ill fortune, I'm sorry to say it, I'm like, you made your bed.
I like when people can't keep their story straight and it's like, oh, you got caught. That I think is entertaining. Other than that, I mean, I'm not the kind of, I don't generally wish ill on people.
I only do if they're like garbage human beings. Like, there is no hope. You are a garbage human being.
I mean, maybe there's a liberal side coming out in me, but I'm like, it's...
You have a liberal side?
I do.
What?
No, I'm of the opinion, what happens to them will happen to them. I mean, that's...
Well, that's the more healthy way to be. I'm not saying my way is healthy.
Yeah, no, because it's not. Because I don't care. These are people that we're never going to encounter.
Oh, I hope not.
I hope. I would find it really odd if we went to like, went to McDonald's or Walmart or something, and she's working the cash register.
Oh, the fun I could have with that.
Oh, that would. I mean,
I'm sorry, I don't want that item anymore. You can.
No.
Oh wait, no, I changed my mind. I want to.
No, that's not the way to mess with somebody like that. What you just everything you say has to be a reference to this whole thing. What if anything comes on that Big Mac? What, if any, sauces do you offer with your chicken nuggets?
Do you guys offer red wine here yet?
I'd reference more just like the trial stuff. Like,
can I have a mega pint of Coke?
Yeah, exactly, something like that.
I don't even drink. And
instead of Hawaiian Punch, do you guys sell Hawaiian Hit?
Don't be such a baby. It was just a question. That recording was just. Yeah. Ugh, I think that was what cemented you are a vile human being.
Yeah. Well, good to see that there are people out there who will still support that, judging by her Twitter responses.
I think that's going to be my question when I meet new people anymore is, do you support Amber Heard? Yes. I'm out.
I got way better ones to suss people out than that. But yeah, no, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, like...
In any case, like I said, I don't care that he won. I don't care that she lost. I'm more like, oh, good. At least from my perspective, she was lying through the whole thing. They're both terrible people, terrible quality people.
Oh, I don't think he's a terrible person, but
okay. When you're doing drugs and drinking as much as your best friend says you are.
Well, yeah, that's not
you got you got some improving you could do.
Yeah, but I feel like he tried to take those steps. But when you're married to another abuser,
well,
that's going to be hard to stop.
Maybe it's because he was doing those things that he decided to marry someone like that in the first place.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
Which then it's his fault.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, I don't know that part. I don't keep up with celebrities like that. I don't care. Like I said, I liked watching this from the court perspective, from the law perspective. Figuring out like, oh, now I understand what all these objections are and everything. Because I'll be honest, most of the law terminology, like court terminology, I know comes from where?
Rikaida law. Oh,
Simpsons. And watching Lionel Hutz bumble cases, he's like, I'd like to move for a bad trial thingy. You mean a mistrial? Like he can't get any of the terminology right.
Yeah.
Like there's one where he's like, I rest my case. And the judge is like, you rest your case? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that's just something people said. Case closed. And like, that's what I mean. It's like that. But, I got to see stuff like that actually happen in real life. So it's and learn like, okay, what is all this stuff? Like,
I liked the psychology and the memes and like, I don't know. It was fun. And there are just some really creative, funny people out there that.
Oh, yeah.
Just
some people love just taking advantage of these kind of situations that come up with something funny to do it. Funny picture, like.
It's just.
Oh, here's this terrible thing that involves millions of dollars and all these people. Let's make a funny picture out of it.
My dog stepped on a bee. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I saw someone made like some kind of music remix of that. I'll have to watch the whole thing.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of songs right now. But all right, we better wrap it up.
Yeah, we've been going on for way too long.
Yeah. Well,
sorry everybody, but
well, and we still we left things out.
Yeah, there's all kinds of other stuff we could have talked about that was entertaining, but yeah. So glad you all could reminisce with us about the trial of the century.
Right?
Nothing's ever going to beat the OJ trial.
I was just going to say, I'm like, well, you got OJ and then this one.
That's you want to talk about a circus. You want to talk about, like, that thing lasted forever.
What year was that again?
94, 95, something like that.
See, I was like 4 years old.
I remember it being on TV. I mean, it was just, that's all they ever showed on the news. It's like, it's whatever time. We're just going to show the OJ trial. Who cares about The Young and the Restless, or who cares about General Hospital, or One Life to Live, Days of Our Lives?
Way to date yourself.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, just like this one, there was no entertainment that anyone could write that was as entertaining as that trial.
Oh my goodness.
So, same thing with here. Nothing like, that's the best thing most entertaining thing she's been in. So, all right, we're gonna rest our cases here, and yeah, we'll see you next time.
Bye.